Welcome friends, welcome back to the kitchen, welcome back to Sunday morning in the Old Cookbook show. Today we're going to revisit the Laura Secord Canadian Cookbook because I really like this cookbook. In real life, I use it a lot. It's got some great recipes in it. I mean, it is a product of the 1960s. The recipes are written kind of weirdly. The layout is, a little bit strange, but this one has handwritten recipes from the family in it. It has a deep family connection. Both Julie and I arrived at our new household when we first got married with a copy of this book. So it has deep roots here. And today we're going to make something that I think you might enjoy. It's called Grunt. And it is a recipe that I really like. So I've got some blueberries here. It is wintertime, so obviously these blueberries came from somewhere else. I'm going to add sugar, salt, and a little bit of cornstarch. And give that a bit of a stir. It's not really going to stir all that much. So the recipe calls for a little bit of lemon juice if you have it, optional. It would certainly help start to break down the blueberries and bring a certain element of tang to the whole dish. If you've got one, great. Lemons were exceptionally expensive at the grocery store when I bought these. The blueberries weren't, even though they came from the other side of the planet. There were blueberries from closer, but I'm not going to go there, so I didn't buy them. This pan is on a fairly low heat. We want the blueberries to start to break down and for the sugar to melt and for everything to sort of come together. Now, here in the food processor, we're going to put flour, salt, an unbelievable amount of baking powder, and just pulse that to bring it together. And here we've got some ice cold butter, and we're going to put that in. Pulse it again. So you know where we're going with this, right? It's essentially a drop biscuit dough, and we're going to drop it over top of the fruit after the fruit has broken down a little bit. We're going to cover it, we're going to cook it. It is essentially a stovetop fruit cobbler. So here we go. We're going to put a little bit of milk in here. Crack in an egg. And we'll whisk that together. Let's check the fruit. That's looking good. Coming together nicely. We can finish the biscuit topping. Now, I'm going to turn this to on. And we'll just drizzle in the milk and egg mixture. Good. So this now gets plopped on top of the blueberries, and you just scoop it off, drop it in. You don't have to think too much about it. Just get it all in there, and little dollops everywhere are fine. Last scoop. Lid on. So I've turned the temperature down to 3, and we just let that bubble away, grunt, for about 20 minutes. Blueberry Grunt. Look at that. Get a little bit of everything into the bowl.
Hey, Glenn. Hey, friends.
Hey, Jules.
That has a very sweet smell to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is it I'm guessing spoon, but the biscuity top there, I'm not really sure.
It's not going to win any beauty contests, but it's going to taste amazing.
It does smell good.
Yeah.
I was expecting more berries in my scoop. What happened?
Well,
you like cheat me? Or?
No, give me a second. Here we go. Okay. Unlike last summer in Havre Saint Pierre, when we were fogged in, we couldn't fly out. We were fogged into, and you went over the road from the airport and picked blueberries for free.
I did have some time to pick some blueberries, though, our in-flight snack for later.
I wondered where you had gone, and then when I saw that the weather had changed ahead of us, I went out to the airplane and I saw the cargo pilot out picking blueberries, and I thought, oh, is he picking blueberries? And then I saw you coming across the street, and it's like, oh, Julie was picking blueberries too.
Uh-huh.
The most amazing blueberries. They're absolutely fantastic.
Well,
It is wintertime in Canada, and these blueberries came all the way from Spain.
oh my goodness.
So
All right, so not quite as many.
you get as many as you get. Actually, though, I did put in more than the recipe asked for.
So it is more pudding than
Yeah, it is more pudding than berry. Mm-hmm. So this is, I mean, essentially something that my grandmother would make when I was a child, using whatever fruit she had on hand, whatever raspberries, strawberries, whatever was frozen from the last summer.
Yep. It's very lovely.
yeah.
Nice and soft, and apparently.
I really like this. It's not beautiful, but it is really tasty.
I bet your grandma's was beautiful though. Mm-hmm. Her version probably.
She probably took more care with the topping. Anyway.
Did you roll yours out?
No, I just. Thanks for stopping by. See you again soon.
Imagine that would be pretty easy to make on a open flame though.
Yeah, it's a camp meal. Really. Make it anywhere.
Pick your fruit, throw it down, toss in some biscuits.
Hey everyone, thanks for sticking around to the end. Thanks for watching to the very end of the video, and thanks for watching this next little bit. Once again, in 2025, I am raising money for Hope Air and participating in the Give Hope Wings flight across Canada that both raises funds for the Hope Air charity, but also raises awareness in the various communities that we stop in, and in the wider community through you, that this service exists and that this needs to be met. Hope Air is a charity that allows Canadians who need healthcare that is not available in their community to travel to the larger cities in Canada where that need can be met. Canada geographically is a massive country, and some communities are pretty far flung, and people end up having to drive 12, 14 hours to get to where the treatment exists that they need. And while healthcare in Canada is universal, any Canadian shows up at the door of the hospital, care is freely given. You have to get to the hospital, or you have to get where the treatment is administered. And for a lot of people, this can be a very difficult time in their life. They're juggling a lot of things. They may not have the financial resources to fly to Toronto and put themselves up in a hotel room for a couple of nights and meals and so on and so forth. And Hope Air is a charity that takes care of that, takes that burden away, takes that weight off of people's shoulders, and allows them to just get well. So my part in this is to raise awareness and to raise money. I work with other pilots who fly some of these people who are seeking treatment from smaller flying communities to larger centers like Thunder Bay, where they can get a commercial airliner that will take them to Toronto or Winnipeg, so on and so forth. And over the last couple of years, we've raised a lot of money for Hope Air. Last year alone, you donated around $40,000 to help out with this cause. I'm very grateful for that. I feel very blessed that we have created a community here on YouTube, amongst everything else that's going on in the world, where we can help people. So once again, I'm doing this. Once again, we're flying. I will be putting the itinerary down in the description box of the places we're going to be in early June, where you can stop in and we can meet. Also links to Hope Air Charity so that you can check them out, see what they do. And if you're moved to help, there will be a link to the fundraising page. For everyone who has given in the past, I thank you enormously. And everyone who is about to give, Thank you.